Good morning. Is this thing on? Check, check, 1, 2. Hey, hey. What's up? What's up, everybody? All my peeps. My peeps? What the hell? What kind of a narcissist are you, Steve? The kind that talks to himself in third person. What's up, everybody? Good morning. It's Tuesday. Do you feel love in the air? I had to look at the calendar and make sure I'm not making an ass of myself more than normal. Do you feel the love? Do you feel the Hallmark postcard feeling of spend and consume? Did you buy your woman a box of chocolates, giving her that poison sugar? Did you buy your lady a bunch of flowers or man, whatever floats your boat? Uh, that's what we're told to do on Valentine's Day. Anyways, good morning. It is Tuesday, February 14th. 7:06 a.m. Central. We're going to go over some weather stuff, and then we'll go over some low boards. I have not done a low board thing. I have not looked for a load yet. I was kind of poking around yesterday for some stuff for Friday, but I didn't see anything. And then another truck that I got to book for, we have some uncertainty we got to deal with, so I was afraid to book ahead. So that's probably going to bite us in the butt, but we might get lucky. You never know. Um, Yesterday was very frustrating day. I did go live yesterday, but not in the morning. I went live about I think it was like 2 or 3 o'clock when I talked about beware of these sketchy trucking companies. And if you want to know how good of a trucking company is, you talk to not just one but multiple drivers of said company. And if so we won't go over all that again. So anyways, there's I don't know. I was in a crap mood yesterday. There's a lot of things going on here at home, and I just it's the darkest of the weeks, for the spot market. This is the slowest time. You got freight waves putting out this news that isn't great, but you know what? We'll deal with it one day at a time. And that's why you make plans. That's why you have things in place to make sure that you can do what needs to be done. Now, I did not buy the wife any cards or any flowers yet, but I did buy her some really good coffee, and we're enjoying it right now. So, so, anyways, not much going on. The news is being kind of stupid. Everybody's talking about these UFOs and all that, and you think we've been so conditioned that when you hear the words or the letters UFO, you automatically think Star Trek kind of stuff. And I can go outside and throw a plate up in the air, take a picture of it, and someone on the other side of the street sees the something in the air, like, oh, I wonder what that was. Well, it's unidentified. It was a flying object. Just because it says UFO doesn't mean it's like space aliens. And and you got to think about this. Like, some channels are out there like, oh, what are they distracting us from? Um, it- yeah, that's a valid point. But here's the thing: if the government is shooting things down that they don't know what they are, that might be a concern. Or if they're telling you they're shooting something down, that should be a concern. Either way, it's not a good situation. They're either doing it for a reason or they know the reason, they don't want to tell you. Either way, what are you going to do about it, right? But man, it creates clicks, it creates analytics, it creates this algorithm that puts you in the groove. And meanwhile, everybody's starting to sound all loony. coming up with their theories and headlines and everything else to get you to click on their stuff that, is basically just data mining. They want you freaked out for a reason, and you just got to be aware of that. So, anyways, that's a different topic for a different day for a different channel, like this one, like that channel. Click on that one and subscribe. We might talk more about that. I think my truck is done. Kenworth hasn't called me to tell me my truck is done, which they're kind of bad about that. But their phone line is also, I can text them and see if the truck's ready, and then hopefully we'll be good. Hopefully we'll be good with the air leaks. At least the audible air leaks, right? And then who knows what will happen. We got Matt's coming up at the end of next month. Looking forward to that. Jeff joined me live yesterday talking about, be aware of these different companies and what you got to look for when you're looking for a company to sign on to, and just know that people are being, companies and people are being desperate right now. And don't believe the recruiters on social media, because that can definitely put you down a path. There's this Instagram channel I follow. I don't know who it is, but they do a lot of the crash footage, kind of similar to what Bonehead Truckers does, and that person advertises for Super Ego. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's a YouTuber under a different name or what, but you just got to be careful. You know, um, you know, and here's how careful I am. Jeffrey Like, he was at Schneider when I was at Landstar, and I came across his channel, watched one video. I was like, I turned it off because I thought this dude was a recruiter. Like, I don't trust recruiters. And it wasn't until Big Rob called me and said, "Hey, man, he was over at Landstar with me, and he had gone to Schneider." He's like, "Man, have you heard of Jeffrey Like?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch one of his videos because it was more of a, I felt like it was a recruiter thing, and that's what I heard he was. And I don't listen to recruiters." He's like, "No, no, no, man, he's the real deal. He's actually an owner operator there. And yeah, he promotes Schneider, but man, he's got some great strategies. He keeps shouting you out." I'm like, "Really?" So sure enough, I go to watch his channel, and there he's like, "Hey, Snorelord, I see you over at Landstar. I see you're having some struggles, man. Get a hold of me. I want to help you out." And his exact phrase, like, "Look, if you want to stay at Landstar, or if you want to come to Schneider, either way, I'm going to help you out." And and so I started watching his channel, and then one day I called him, and I got the 3-hour version of his Schneider versus Landstar, and I was sold. And did he get a referral bonus for that? Absolutely. But that wasn't his motivation behind it. Motivation was to help a dude that he saw struggling at Landstar. So, and he did. And here we are today. So, but that's how much I distrust. Once I realized that Jeff was just a driver, talking about the benefits of being at Schneider, then did he make a lot of money with referral bonuses? Absolutely. But there's very few people that went over to Schneider based off of his word that didn't do well. I mean, so it's like anything else. If you go to Schneider, a recruiter might get you in the door, but then it's up to you to kind of make it work. It's when you don't have control over certain things that negative things happen. And Big Rig CO, another person, he just wanted to help people out, and he got referral bonuses through Schneider. He made good money at that too. I made a few bucks, but that wasn't the intention or the motivation of my YouTube. It was not like, man, I got to put a video out today so I can get my driver number out there so I can get some referral bonuses. It was like, oh, wow, cool. I got a referral bonus. Sweet. That's how it was at Landstar as well. I think I made $200 for each person. I think I got 3 people over there. And, and which that was interesting in and of itself because I wasn't like, Landstar is the greatest place ever. I was like, I wasn't trashing them either, but I was like, hey, man, this kind of sucks when I have to go through this. And here's what I'm dealing with. And then someone calls me, hey, I want to come to Landstar. I'm like, really? Okay. I gave them an agent code to call, and boom, I got $200. And that happened 3 times in the year and a half I was there. Schneider, I had probably 5 or 6. And the way it was set up back then, it was like 1,500 when they go through orientation and 1,500 at 6 months. And I didn't keep track of that. One day I get a settlement, or I get a notice on my settlement. Hey, congratulations, so and so made 6 months. Here's your money for that. So there you go. It's about intention. Are people telling you how great a company is because they get something out of it, or are they telling you how great of a company is because they feel good about it? And that's that you have to have the gift of discernment to be able to figure that out. What's motivated by money and what's motivated by I want to truly help you. And so and being a YouTuber, you're usually somewhere in the middle, you know. So I mean, I like doing these morning live feeds when I'm home, and maybe I feel like I'm doing a service for you guys. It's not really to feed my ego. Um, but at the same time, is it nice that I'm making a little bit of cash now? That's cool. And a lot of times I feel like I don't deserve it. So that's kind of where my head's at. It's like I don't deserve, like, this microphone was donated to me. The microphone stand thing, that you can't see because it's, thanks to the magic of interwebs, it's invisible. Just like the super chats, I'm like, man, what do I'm doing that I don't deserve that, because I'm just some moron talking to you about low boards and trucking and some crap that I've done stupidly, and I don't know. It's weird, but I appreciate everybody that's in here, and I really truly love the traction that my channel's gotten lately, and I want to thank the people that have made that happen. So, including the microphone donator, because YouTube algorithms love great audio. And you could have the worst content with the best audio, and YouTube's going to prefer that over some great content with crappy audio, because they're realizing that a lot of YouTube can be turned into podcasts. They're realizing that a lot of people are listening in their cars on their way to work. And there's a lot of podcast style YouTubes. Like, there's nothing really visual about what I do unless I'm on the low boards or whatever. But um, and it was suggested by a couple of friends that I take each recording that I do and turn it into a podcast. I haven't done that yet, because that would take some editing to edit out the comments and everything. Because people listening to podcasts, they don't want to see me read they want to hear me read a comment. That's probably boring, unless the comments contributing to the story. So um so I've taken with it and run. It's nice to have a little bit of the time. I don't have enough time to dedicate to it, um like to the level of like some of these other podcasters, but I can at least go live, do my thing. If there's something I don't like, then I can put it members only, or something, or just make it private altogether. If there's something I do like, I can take that piece out and put it up as a recorded video. So, Dennis Richardsville, good morning. Richardville. I always say Richardsville. I apologize. I hate it when people screw up my last name, so I apologize for doing that. We'll just call you Dennis. Sean Fairman, first from Green Bay. Good morning, Red Diesel. Guys, subscribe to this channel too for the non-trucking content that I plan on putting out. I've just reached 500 on this channel, the Snorelord OG channel, and I'd really appreciate getting that channel. If you're interested in hearing my thoughts on stuff outside of trucking, then subscribe to that. Who knows? We might go all wackadoo on you. Stuart, good morning. BLR, good morning. Desert Okie Pam, good morning. My name is Nobody. Alfalfa. This is Little Green Truck. CB, morning from Texas. Yeah, we're going to get into the weather here too. Pigtail, what's up? Soylent Green, great band. Tolga, morning CDN. Good morning, Steve. I'm late. Not too late. You'll be all right. Contrary to popular belief, money is not everything. That is absolutely true. We are going to have to dock your pay, CDM, for being late. Next time, it's a write-up. Says LVC. Mr. Charles. Lance, referrals only 100 at Landstar now. Yeah. Well, I mean, look, that makes sense because if the market is struggling, they want to try to slow down, the referrals, or they're being cheap, one or the other. I know that Schneider will stop putting referral bonuses out when they're not looking to hire anybody or bring anybody on, because they want to keep their capacity at a level that can maintain their accounts, but not oversaturated to where people can't make money, especially with them Schneider Finance payments. Tolga saying hi to Chucky. Tried the hacking on the American Mind. It wasn't for me, but I look forward to your and DIY semi discussion on it. That's cool. Then I think I know the next book we're gonna do. I got to try to talk DIY into it after we get this one done. It's all about the ego. Yes. These lives help with daily perspective. Well, I appreciate that. Super Snorelord, super. People appreciate all that you bring to the trucking community. You help people understand things and how to be better. Well done. Well, thank you. CB says $2. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Truckers Education Network, good afternoon. Jeff that must have been a really deep nap that you had. Reading the comments provide context for the listeners. That is true. I can't stand. It's frustrating when you watch a live feed. I think Red Viking Trucker was doing that, where he doesn't even read the comments, and it's like your audience wants to feel engaged, right? Cash is king. It'll take him, him and DIY. It might take him 30 minutes to get to your comment, but they're going to get to it. And I'm pretty bad about that too. I've gone to the comments like, oh crap, I'm 30 minutes behind. So I guess it happens when you got really good discussion going on. But Dennis is laughing. Steve, you have channel supporters because you are honest, have integrity, sense of humor, and consistency. At least that's what I appreciate about yourself and your channel. Thank you, CDN. You've been a great supporter of this channel. And we're still going to have that discussion. It might be later today. It just depends. I got to pick up the truck, I think, today, hopefully, and make sure that they did their stuff right. And then I probably should get something for the wife. I don't know. She's the kind of woman that's like you didn't waste money on a card, did you? But I know she probably got me a card, so I got to at least reciprocate. Shannon, good morning. Everyone from Dallas, Texas, heading to Lakeland, Florida once they get me loaded. Man, you're making I-10 and I-20 your lane, aren't you? I don't blame you one bit, because 80 is going to be all jacked up again, and 70 as well. 70 is going to be jacked up. Happy Valentine's Day. Safe travels from now. Tolga, I don't know if anybody realizes this because of all the UFO talk, but they're saying that the death toll in Turkey, and I bring this up because that's where Tolga's from, 35 5,000 people they believe have perished. Think about that number. Think about if that happened here in America. I mean, we'd have this social media overload, and that's all the news would be talking about because that's a huge event. But no, we're obsessed in stupid things flying in the air that they're shooting down, not realizing that 35,000 people, that's a major cataclysmic event. And then that's crazy. So Tolga, prayers to you. Question: do strong hazmat lanes mirror non-hazmat lanes? Um, somewhat, because when you look at a hot market map, the reason why. Okay, so let's do that here. Let's well, let me get the let's get the 1-2 board here. This is on all trailers right now, so let's. Oh. All right, so when you look at these green states, it's for all trailers. Okay, we'll get into the nitty gritty here in a minute. It's about where manufacturing is, right? So Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa has a lot of dairy. The Southeast has a lot of pork. This area has a lot of chicken. When it comes to refrigerated stuff, you have these areas that have produce, right? So that's different. Now, with building supplies, you have a lot. Like if you're flatbed, step deck, a lot of this is in your favor, and a little bit of this up here. So when it comes to hazmat, you just have to find. So it depends on the kind of hazmat. If you've got explosives or fireworks, those are shipped in from China, obviously, and those are you just got to know where the big warehouses are. When it comes to chemicals, um, like Houston is a lot of chemicals. I know that there's a chemical shipper out in the middle of nowhere in Wyoming. I picked up there before. So it doesn't mirror it exactly, but if you can find, it's just a matter of finding the lanes that where all the manufacturers are. Just like if you're in reefer, you want to find, where they either process or ship, produce or meat or dairy. But then you have some oddball stuff like Idaho. There's a fish farm in Idaho that you grab frozen fish. It was funny. It's like I grabbed one of those loads, and a friend of mine said, "What'd you get out of Idaho? Frozen fish?" I'm like, "Wait a minute, how'd that happen?" And you look on Google Maps, and it was a fish farm. So yes and no. It doesn't mirror it exactly, but more than likely you're going to have shippers in Houston or Green Bay or Jersey. I've picked up. I picked up batteries all the time. You have batteries that come out of Pennsylvania. You have batteries that come out or into Indianapolis, Louisiana, Texas, predominantly Houston, New Orleans, Gulfport has a lot of hazmat. You don't see a lot of hazmat coming out of Florida, because Florida's not a big manufacturing state. They could be a produce state, but not a big manufacturing state. And if they do manufacture, it's usually food. And that's the other thing. There are hazmat chemicals that go into these food plants. Really? Yeah, I used to haul it. So that's the other thing. So you might have a lane where you pick up ingredients for, Diet Coke that goes to Coca-Cola. So I mean, there are lanes that you develop with that realm. Usually, though, and here's the thing, I don't see a lot of hazmat loads posted. Um, TQL, I think TQL and Landstar are the main ones that post those. So a lot of that hazmat, if it's a brokered load, it's not hitting the load boards because it's more specialized. Because if I'm a broker that wants to do hazmat, I'm going to make sure that I got a carrier in my pocket to make sure that I can do it. And that's why a lot Landstar ends up with a lot of them, because if I'm Joe Schmo's chemical shipping company and I need a load move, I'm going to call Landstar because all their drivers are required to have hazmat. And and I will develop a relationship with the agent that specializes in that, and just work through that, because I know they have that as their hazmat authority. And I know that personally, I know their process about once you pick up a hazmat load, you got to call Landstar. They've got a specialized person that you got the right placards and the bills say the right things, and that you're making the right precautions. And then, so there's some training involved with that. And so a lot of that stuff doesn't hit the spot market. Cash and DIY yesterday morning, we're talking about this guy that hit a bridge. I forget where. I think it was in Ohio. And the guy didn't even have a license, didn't have any permits, and was pulling an oversized load. So somebody is going out of business over that one. And somebody went to jail over that one. So, I mean, you got to really be careful with all that stuff. So a lot of that stuff it's specialized, so it doesn't end up on the spot market. And if I had to do it all over again, I would specialize in refrigerated hazmat and refrigerated pharmaceutical. That's huge money in those fields. You don't see that stuff on the spot market. It could be brokered. See, here's the other thing. You can have brokered loads that are still considered spot market, but they never hit the low boards. And DIY talked about that on his Saturday live feed about, these brokers have contracts as well. And if you can get in good with one of them on a lane that you want to run, then you're not on the low board fighting for whatever at the mercy of the market. So consistency is huge, especially right now. I'm heading to Dallas. I'm not stalking Shannon. Unfortunately, that's true, Snorelord. Man, that's massive when you think about that. That's just wow. Yeah, CB book a load to Florida next. Always lots of hazmat to and from Houston, right? So Houston would be a good lane. Houston may not be a great lane for vans certain times of the year, but definitely for hazmat. DIY, come on. What's up, man? 110,000 deaths of overdose in 2022, most attributed to fentanyl, yet they can't find the fentanyl from China. Yeah, that's a Snorelord OG topic right there. There's some true epidemics here, and it's not the one that you think, right? Snorelord Jeff Cash is king. DIY CDN. It's just good quality trucking content and good laughs. No ego, real content. Thanks, Dennis. I appreciate that. I don't know about all those other yahoos, but I try to keep my ego in check. Just kidding. I'm the most egotistical person ever. Um, I've got a microphone and I can do whatever I want. So, flatbed trucker, hello, SST. Saw you sneak in. And Jerome Jones, good morning. So while we got this low board popped up here, so first let's do the weather here. So let's do this here. It's not really weather per se. It's the warnings. And it's very colorful this morning. Check it out. If I could zoom this in a little bit. There you go. If you're going across 40 or 70, you're in for a hell of a ride. And if you're going across 94, you're in for a hell of a ride. 80 is actually the one that's being all innocent this time. So let's see what I'm under here. That might be just wind. Yeah, wind advisory. So all this tan shade is all wind advisory. You got a blizzard warning up here in Minnesota and parts of North and South Dakota, as usual. And then you got a bunch of winter storm warnings through Montana, the northern part of Wyoming, and Colorado's all jacked up. Western Kansas is all jacked up. Northern New Mexico and northern Arizona, all the way down to Phoenix, is all jacked up. So just be aware now. Oh, and then we got the Oregon coastline that's going to be jacked up too. So it's going to be interesting if you're running out west. Now, notice the Northeast all quiet, so that's good. And Shannon, I think you're good to go. You're in Dallas, so this doesn't affect you, but you've got that's a that's a different shade of pink there. Red flag warning. So that's just probably because of wind. So it's going to be breezy as you go across 20, or if you're going across to 10. Um, it's going to be breezy. So just know that. All right. Pale Rider TV, what's up? So, anyways, let's get to the low board stuff. 48065 if you want to check out the 123 low board. I do get a cut, so it's a paid advertisement, but I'm showing you something that I do use, and I'm showing you something that can be a good tool, and I'm showing you a product that I do believe in. Now, do they have as many loads as the other low boards? No. But if you're a broker, you're watching, you can post for free on this low board. So they're trying to get that up. So if we can make this a popular low board, all the better. So let's this is the density list. You can access this online. The app doesn't show this, but it does show the density list, and it looks like that. So you can kind of see the colors in the state, and then you can click on a state. Let's see what's dealing with Florida, and there you go. Now those numbers look pretty good, but we've got this on all trailers. So let's go look at. Let's do van first. Click apply, and yeah, van is not in a good shape right now. But here's what's happening in a van. Okay, you're going to find yourself probably ending up in one of these red states to keep your revenue up. So it's how you recover from one of these low market states. And a great strategy that I use is if you can get great money going into, say, I don't know, Denver, find the freight that pays the best out of Denver and become that broker's best friend. If you are, if you find yourself going to Phoenix because you either live there or, you want to utilize the high market value that you get into there, then find the broker that's got possibly the best paying stuff that you can get coming out. And that's going to take some digging. That's going to take some time. The question is as you're trying to find that, how often do you have to go to Arizona? Or you're willing to take that short hit because obviously California is green right now. So there's there's different strategies that you got to come up with. And it will constantly change. New Mexico is a great, you can get freight coming out van wise if you got a vented van during certain times of the year. Either you got a lot of agriculture. You've got peanuts, you've got cotton, you have watermelons, and you have pumpkins that can come out of there. So you got to know the seasons as well. Vented vans can pull a watermelon load, certain times of the year. There's more risk with produce loads, and then you got to be careful of the brokers that are shipping those. So that's the other element too, because a lot of ag based shipper or a lot of ag based brokers, there's no recourse on them. If they don't pay you, then you can't. There's no bond to file on. So cents per mile. Good morning. Super light step deck load to Minnesota, Washington, D.C. $5K. Can't complain. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. SST Pale Rider. I'll be good. 38,000 pounds of canned goods, Dallas to Lakeland. There you go. And it's flat, so you'd be all right. $4.67 a mile. Good deal. Shane, get paid in some sunshine, right? Get that vitamin D. Clyde, good morning. I'm at home playing Call of Duty. Haven't booked a spot load in 9 years, but I still like the channel. Thank you. Come on with it. That's funny. Yep, just booked one to Omaha, Nebraska. Booked what? Oh, you're just, yeah. Chucky's like, we don't need to worry about the weather. So, anyways, that's van. Let's look at flatbed and step deck. Take van out. Screw those van guys. All right. Obviously, it's obvious where you want to be. Where did you say you got that load out of? Cents per mile, Minnesota to Washington D.C. So let's take a look at Minnesota here. All right, here let's do this. We'll just do Minneapolis since I don't know where you picked up at. Do a 200-mile radius. I'll cover everybody. Now we'll do 250. There we go. Going to, we'll just say Roanoke. Yay, 200-mile radius to that. That'll put us in that market. All right. This is for, let's do it for today, tomorrow, Thursday. All right. Trailer type. That's new. All flatbed or all van. Let's do flatbed, step deck. All right. Because we don't want, they have step deck, flatbed, step deck, RGN, double drop, maxi, a couple others. So I don't know the abbreviations to those. All right, search. Let's do the highest paying load. Yeah, fifth wheel freight. They've got only 231 a mile, 3,100 going from Lake Lillian, Minnesota to Selma, North Carolina. And that's above the average. So you did really good on that. And it's heavy too. It's like it's 49,000 pounds concrete. So there's not too many loads right now either. So you gotta, the rest of them are $182, $177. So yeah, glad I'm not a flatbedder. Jeez. All right, I'm mumbling. Sorry. Let's go to load availability map again. All right, let's do reefer, refrigerated. Little more green than the van world. And you guys see a pattern here, right? You guys, I mean, this it doesn't take a whole lot of experience to realize that there's a pattern. But where it's kind of frustrating at times is when you have to go to a bad market just to get a decent rate. And then getting back to a good market, they don't want to pay squat. So you got to like, you don't want to just take a direct path at sometimes. So how's the Denver in the Northwest? Well, let's take a look. DIY. Page not found. Oh, huh. It's not letting me show it. Let me try something else here. Let's see. I guess they're not going to give me a radar on that. So, but I will show this. Um, I guess I don't know. Maybe there's a YouTube thing with showing the rate. So let's look at Colorado here. You've got a winter storm warning until it doesn't say what time. Zoom out. So basically, all of Colorado and southern part of Utah, and then all of northern Arizona. But then in the northwest, you have along the coastline. The worst weather is going to be up here, and then through here. But that's so I don't know. Let's take a look at this. Um, wow, they're calling for 18 to 24 inches of snow in some areas, like around Diamond. Basically, the mountain passes are going to be screwed. 6 to 8 through here. Medford's going to get snowed on 1 to 2 inches though. So it's just, I guess, in the mountains it's going to get pretty heavy, but everything else is around 1 or 2 inches, or 3 and 4. So that shouldn't be too bad, unless you're going through the mountains. Then there's a situation there. So I hope that helps. Reefer boom. LVC says, "Hail, hey, pale rider, tell me yesterday that they couldn't use me because I'm a sole proprietor. Are you kidding me, Clyde? So you try to hack it, and because you listed sole proprietor on your tax form, that they won't use you? I've never heard that. DIY Jeff, have you heard that? I've never. I've That's a new one. It's getting to be extremely tough for you single owner operator authorities. Coffee. Told me that 4 hours after sending carrier packet. Wow. Ugh. Thank you, LVC, for sharing the video and giving me the thumbs up. And StreamYard's being slow. DIY, a friend said the roads are closed in some parts of Idaho, and that would make sense. Clyde, read the broker agreement to determine if they approve Inc. or LLC companies. If they have online setup, they will have a qualification. CDN, do you guys do that? I mean, have you heard of that? Sterling, good morning. Snowing like Nevada. Yeah, it is. Good morning, Sterling. Thanks for membership gifts, by the way. Yeah, you've read it. No way, Clyde. You read. That's weird. It's some of our contracted freight. 3 units. I was surprised at the price myself. Yeah, they probably really needed it. No pattern in the Midwest has snow and cold, except for the last 2. Snorelord hit the wrong button accidentally. Just booked us all dry. There you go. Summary of current market from FreightWaves. Have you ever tried a circle in strategy to try and capitalize on weather-related tender rejections? Yes, that is a great strategy. So that's one of the things you got to think of the timing of a. You call the broker and like, hey, I'm looking at this load going to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Look, man, it's snowing like crazy right there. So I mean, I'm gonna need more. By the time you kind of swing in there, they've plowed the roads. You're good to go. It's the extended weather to deal with. So yes, if you can, it's not about avoiding storms. It's about it's about it's about coordinating. You know, um, you don't want to land in a place that's blizzard at the time of the blizzard, but if you can land right before or right after and still going in there, then you're good to go. Because a lot of people don't pay attention that closely. So the closer you pay, the better you are at timing these things. You have the advantage over the guy who's like, I ain't going there. It's good. So same thing with hurricanes. I ain't going there. There's going to be a hurricane. Yeah, but fall until Tuesday. Pick up a load Monday and go. If the shippers are shipping, that's the other element you have to look at. Yes, that's a great strategy, CP. Take 2, summary of market per freight waves. OTVI is down 32%. Yes. Watching the weather in Phoenix, high wind warnings for later today, possible 50-mile-per-hour gust, south, possible 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts in the north of the mountains. Also snow in the north. Yes. All jacked up. Found triple shot black rifle mocha in Kansas. Travel. That got sugar in it, though? That's a lot of sugar. StreamYard's being slow. I click on something, it's not clicking. No, my brokerage does not have anything preventing sole. I read over it after the fact. It didn't have picks in it, so they had good reviews, so I figured broker was okay. The brokers are getting pickier. They want inspections. They want you to have brokerage. Like XPO was like, hey, if you got to carry, unless you got over 10 trucks, man, we ain't dealing with you. And this is going to continue to have all this double brokering going on, and all the scamming that's going on. You're gonna have carriers that are going to want pictures of the truck. Make sure that you're the one picking up, and and carriers are moving in trying to steal customers from other. That's happening a lot too. It's becoming very cutthroat because you know rats are bottom feeders, and when there's a scene, climb over each other just to survive. Not that I'm saying the spot market, yes, it's down, but there's a lot of BS that, because now everybody's like, I mean, 32%. So there's less freight. So that's got to go somewhere. You got 1099 company, the Eastern European nations that were paying 30% in the spot 20%, and you're not getting the real rate con. So a lot of shenanigans. A lot of people are in survival mode, and some people are honest about it. Some people aren't. Some people, and that's it's a very competitive market. I mean, just look the equation. Trucking in general is a very competitive market, or competitive, and so you take control of what you can and protect. And if you're the kind of person that won't even do the math to figure out what your cost, aren't willing to do this, and this, guess what? Your competitors are doing that. Your competitors doing the math that they can run for $1.80 a mile. Your competitors figuring out how to take that customer when when it's Saturday and you want to roll bucks cheaper just to get out of the truck stop before you. That's that's Landstar was kind of interesting because people were willing to, you were competition to them. And so they didn't give you all the secrets. They didn't tell you all a lot of the advantage I figured out on my own. And that's what you have to do in the spot market. Figure out figure it out. I don't know what else to say. And once you figure it out, man, it doesn't matter what the market's doing, doesn't matter what the season's doing, doesn't matter. And you're always learning, you're always adjusting, and that takes a lot of that takes a lot of work that a lot of people aren't willing to do. So if they're your competitors and you're willing to do that, guess what? Competitive edge. Fate Trucking, good morning. Hope everyone's having a good morning. I am. I got my coffee. We're good to go. I'm in advance. Oh man. You guys. Yeah, the scams are making it harder. Another factor is cargo theft is up 15%. Sell the brokers of BOL, I'm sure you're saying, after pickup, send pics of inside trailer before operating the load, lock trailer. There you go. Now, lock only stops an honest man or a late, but it shows that you made precautions, right? Well, if it's locked and they can't get the lock open, that's when they become violent. Blah, blah. If they want something bad enough, they're gonna get it. It. I mean, you got to protect yourself and cover your butt. CYA. CYA. We are all competition with each other, but this community is small enough that we can share our ways, and that's true. Had rain, slush, hail, and a little snow yesterday from Oregon to California. Set on the road. Lionel, thanks for coming in. Thanks for the information. So, Oh, we're right at almost eight. I think there's not much low board stuff left. Yeah, I like. Let's do some poking around though. So let's take a look at Missouri, or Misery for your haters. There we go. Joplin to Reno, 4 grand, 14,000 pounds. Yeah, I wonder why that rate's up. Why? Because the weather's going to suck. So that's why that's probably up there. Let's take a look at their credit. I've not worked with Sunset. Yeah, they're pre-approved with Thunder. They're a TIA member. Credit score is 93 at 31 days to pay. Not bad. There you go. That was coming out of Joplin. Joplin's a good market for reefer. Here we go. Here's your lane. St. Louis to Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Now I know what this is. It's beer. This was $1,000 a couple weeks ago. So, and since surge that they probably will not budge. If anybody can tell me how to get a great rate out of surge, please let me know. I'm not trashing them, but I do know that I cannot get them to above average rate. They're always, it's like a computer, and they've bragged about using the AI. It's like a computer tells them X amount percent less. And that's exactly what they are here. I've not been able to book a low with them for a while. It's because they just will not budge. I don't care if you're the master negotiator you think you are. So here's something interesting. You can get 4 grand to go from Joplin to Reno, or you can do 3750 go to California from Sedalia. See what this is. Sedalia is going to prop Tyson. Frozen beef, yes. Picks up at 12:01 a.m. on today, which that's already late, and then delivers in Vernon, California on Friday. They're right at 220 a mile on that one. Frozen's going to be -10 continuous. But here's a $3 mile low going to L.A. St. Joseph to L.A. 43,000 pounds. Now I've never heard of this broker, Kula Logistics. They're pre-approved by Thunder. They got 28 days to pay, 94 on trans credit, 31 B with Thunder. So my guess is that this is multiple stop. And plus you're going through remember all the storm warnings I showed you earlier? It's going through right through all of that. So depending on delivery time, you might want to drop south, but that's going to be a lot of out of route miles. Or you might be able to zigzag through here and then cut across. So, which basically how you would do it out of Kansas City, anyways. Here's Meta to Oklahoma City going to be dog food. Meta, there's a dog and cat food plant there, 44,000 pounds. There's not a whole lot of reefer tractor trailers that can haul 44. So I'd be leery about this one. It says van or reefer, but I wouldn't put that in a reefer. If you want to go to a great market, they've got Menominee. I bet you anything it's 37,000 pounds van or reefer, so they're going to be lower on the rate than your, Menominee. That's going to be possibly Walmart, I believe. and they're also, yeah, we've already checked their credit. So yeah, just poke around. Let's pick California here. Let's see what's coming out of California for the reefer world. Let's see. Let's Tracy, California, Vineland, New Jersey. Average rate is $1.78 a mile. Email only transport, or no? There's that different name for than the broker. Let's see. Not a great rate on the averages, so looks like they've got a bunch of that. Your SRAM Logistics, 234 a mile, 2,300 going up to Idaho. 2 extra stops. That's why, and they're not even at the average. 24 pounds, Salt Lake City, Utah, Boise, Idaho. Well, at least they put the stops in the description, which is good. So maybe you live in Boise, you can hang out, if there's enough time on the load, but you're going to be going through probably some serious weather through that one too. Let's see. Let's take a look at Arizona. I had a buddy of mine wanting to know what the freight coming out of Arizona does. All right, here's Yuma. Friend, I hope you're paying attention here. I know you're in here, or maybe you're not in here. You're a busy person. 40,000 pounds, 211 a mile out of Yuma. That's going to be produce. Going to Valparaiso, Indiana. So who's the Direct Connect Logistics? TM member, yes, pre-approved by Thunder. They got a 43 days to pay, 82 credits on trans credit. So you might want to dig a little bit deeper on that. LA, Streamwood. Here's another one. Yuma to Streamwood, Illinois. $50, 3 cents a mile. I'm pretty sure that's probably a type. It probably meant 5,000. That wouldn't be too bad. 5 for that. That puts you at just a little over 210, 220 a mile, somewhere around there. Picks up today. So evidently they're waiting until the last minute. Pro usually does. Let's see. Here's another one. Phoenix. 233 miles. So the rates out of Arizona bad. It's not like van coming out with a van. It's just absolutely stupid. And these are posted rates. Some of these. So this is coming out of Phoenix. Well, here's one. Nogales to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Green Light Go Incorporated. 219 a mile is the average. Doesn't say anything about extra stops. They don't have a posted rate. Let's see what their credit looks like. They got a 39-day pay with Thunder, a B credit score. They got 92 and 35 on trans credit. Here we go. Tollison, the Okmulgee, Oklahoma, at Stevens Transport. I've dealt with them. They're not too bad. They're a little bit lower on this one though, which is interesting because Oklahoma is not the best market. Oh, no temperature, so it's probably it's a dry load. That's why. Okay. Here we go. Liverpool, New York. Phoenix to Liverpool. That's going to be a higher average because of where you're going. Who's this broker? This is check them. They're all right. Phoenix to Searcy, Arkansas. That's going to be Walmart or Sam's Club. They're at 219 a mile on the average. So you got the San Antonio market. Pepsi's got that. See if it's van reefer. So it's going to be a little bit 44,000. So you might as well just say van because you get about 43.5. You're flirting with being over gross on a reefer, especially if you got a heavier truck. So I wouldn't even attempt it in a reefer. Here it's Arizona to Dallas, Texas. I would want to check the Dallas market before I pull the reefer load there. 43.5. So you're pushing it on the weight. They're good credit wise. And let's see what's coming out of Dallas. So let's say you lived in Arizona. Let's see what the backhaul looks like out of Dallas. You got Fort Worth to Casa Grande. Average lane is about $1.90 a mile for reefer. So yeah, it's not the best. There's only 4 loads. So different things to look at. Oh wow, you guys have been commenting like Mo. I have no id, says CB. I think I'd try to specialize in moving weekend loads. CDN, if there are 5 trailers, 2 with locks, 3 without, which of the thieves going to, lock stops a lazy thief. 3 without. Yeah, there you go. Lionel, thank you for your gratitude. I appreciate that. Chiefs says, PO, good morning. How about them? Yeah, it's going to be interesting with that. Where's my coffee? Poe, go Chiefs. Spring road restrictions have started in Michigan, so choose your path wisely. Is that the Tundra law? So, ground so soft. How long do inspections show up on Safer? I haven't had one in about 2 years. I want to say within the month, within the week. I don't know. I don't know how quickly that happens. I've only dealt with that one time, and DIY would answer that. Could answer that, or Jeff. Maybe Mike. Michigan might be the dumbest state in the union. They have plenty of competition, though. On with it. Let's just put 24 axles on the truck. Seems fine. I will agree about cool. Yes, I know many people in Michigan, and they are cool people. Morning. All the stars are aligning for me to get my CDL. Make today your best day. There you go, David. Ice Burner Express. What's up? Good morning. Good luck, David. Check out other truck channels. Plenty to learn about the industry on here. Everybody's talking good about Wheel Burner. Reefer celebrating VD. Another episode of Dude. That's true. I'm just going to title Greg is Screwed. Oh, man. You're probably crying, right? What's up, Tolga? Would appreciate that. Everybody's talking to Wheel Burner. Wheel Burner's doing the ice roads. And the first thing he had to do was because it wasn't icy enough. So everybody check out his channels that are on here. Wheel Burner Express, DIY Semi, Truckers Education Network. Put this out that we are looking for contractors. So if you're looking for a good company where you can have some control of what you do, Go to our website, liketrucking.com. We have an extra trailer here in Springfield. You can hang out with me. I'll show you how to deal with the logs and how to download the apps and presentation aspect to it. I appreciate everybody that supports the channel. I don't think I'm going to be on here too much longer. We'll get over a couple of comments, and then if you feel free to reach out to me or Truckers Education Network when it comes to like trucking. That's our brokerage, and also have a dispatch service where I can, you know, navigate very volatile market that we're living in. So, but Wheelburner says not great. The weather's not cooperating. Believe it or not, it's too warm, and a lot of the ice shorter season. Wow. Well, that sucks. But I mean, there's a ton of crap going on in our country, so you Canadians just don't know how to. That's what it is. Who would have thunk? Can't do anything about Mother Nature. China can. They can. They can manipulate their weather. They did it for the Beijing Olympics. Anyways, I probably just made my dollar sign go yellow for that one. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate up and and there's an up soon, and we're going to try to keep this momentum. I want to thank everybody that chose to do so or not. I want to thank everybody that supports the channel. I just have a lot of gratitude right now because you guys are awesome. So with that being said, strength, hope for tomorrow, bang your head, aggression turns to screws. Get it.